Hannah with Brian and Brian Inspections. I'm here with Liz.
Hi, Liz Johnson with Vaughn Realty.
Okay, so we're going to talk new construction today. So what does the process look like when you have a buyer that is wanting a new construction home?
So I start off with just any buyer. I do a buyer consult. I sit down, I explain the whole process, whether they're buying new construction or something that's already been built, a pre-existing construction. I just go over it, and, we talk about lending and, the whole once they're under contract process, inspections, and all that fun stuff.
The builders do their own inspections.
Mm-hmm.
But how is it different when they use a third-party inspector versus the builder? Like, what are the main differences that you see?
Well, the builder does have their own inspectors, but it is always better to get a third-party inspection because the builder's obviously looking out for themselves as to when you get a third-party inspector, they're looking out for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I feel like even on a new construction, there's always issues. It could be minor stuff, but, it's good to know about it.
Yeah. There has never been a home in history that has ever gotten an inspection with nothing on the report.
Oh.
Even if it is just little stuff, but up until closing, that's the time for you to negotiate that with the builders.
Yeah.
Because they're still working for you, and the buyers have all the power to get all of that stuff repaired or replaced prior to closing and prior to moving in. Mm-hmm. Do you ever have clients say that they'll just wait until the house is lived in to see what goes wrong?
Yes, I have had clients waive the inspection completely. Mm-hmm. And, they're like, oh, we'll just go. The builder did an inspection, and now, like 6 months later, like our dishwasher isn't working, or we have a leak in the sink, or, it's just different things.
All this stuff that could have been caught on the report ahead of time.
Yeah.
So when we're doing the new construction inspections, it comes with 3 phases. So phase 1 is pre-pour, before the foundation is poured. Phase 2 is the pre-drywall, before the walls go in. And then phase 3 is the final. And then we have the 1-year builder warranty inspection, which I feel like is the one where buyers just wait out that first year to see how the house is when it's lived in, and then they'll see what comes up on the report. But all 3 phases hold their own importance when it comes to making sure the home is being put together correctly. So in phase 1 with the pre-pour, they're looking at things like the steel rebar, the structural aspect of it, looking at the 6mm polyplastic that goes on top. And all of that is good for not only the basis of the home, but also eliminating any future foundation problems that might come up. I mean, I imagine it won't completely eliminate every single thing that could happen, but it gives you a better chance. Because one thing we see a lot here is the moisture changes. And so, like at our office that we have in Pearland, every single summer, the doors get sticky. And then you'll see, like last year with the drought, there was a lot of cracks that were forming on the walls, and people were needing all of this foundation work. And it all comes down to just uneven moisture content underneath the foundation. So the phase 1 inspection can help with clarification for that aspect. Phase 2, with the pre-drywalls, they're looking at electrical to make sure everything is put together there properly. They can look at plumbing. They can look at, it's the last time anyone can see behind the walls of the home. And then moisture intrusion, any kind of leaks. And then, of course, the phase 3 is the final once everything is completed. And then the 1-year builder warranty, of course, they can do before the 1 year is up to submit that to the builder.
It's important to get it. I mean, just even if it's not the 3 phases, you know, it's always important to just get the home inspected, even if it's one of their...
One of them. A lot of the buyers, unless they're working from the ground up, they don't even know about the phased inspections. Because like with the inventory homes, when they're already built, it's just automatically the final inspection. And then some of them, maybe they didn't get a realtor into the transaction process until after the walls were put up or until after the foundation was already poured. So it comes down a lot to the realtors being sure that they're able to educate their clients if they're building from the ground up, all 3 phases that they can do, or if it is an already constructed home, of getting the final inspection done before they go to closing so that they can make sure the home is exactly how they want it. Because a new home is not a perfect home.
Absolutely not. I've had people waive the inspection. They're like, no, the builder already gave, we already had an inspection with the builder, but they had been, like I said, plumbing issues, the ceiling will leak, and then it's just an expense for them, and they're reaching out to the warranty, the builder's warranty. They don't always get back with them, or it's just like, oh, you have to fix it and then we'll reimburse you, but they won't reimburse all the money. So I definitely recommend to get an inspection, even if on an inventory home.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see the article that said that by the end of next year, they're expecting like 25,000 more people to move into League City?
Oh, wow.
Because of all, and I can't even, the new construction is booming everywhere.
They are. There's so many new neighborhoods coming up in League City. God, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. It's overwhelming. You're like, I don't think we can hold 25,000 more people. We're going to have to start building up. We're going to start building apartments on top of the real estate offices.
I feel like League City is already it's so big.
Yeah.
And the schools, I feel like, there's just so many kids in schools. We need more schools.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And higher pay for teachers.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with inspections. I'll probably cut that out. But, and a lot of times, too, like, I feel like buyers think that the home is being meticulously custom-made for them. And it's not to say that every builder does bad work. That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that they're not taking their sweet time building these neighborhoods that they're building.
No, these homes are coming up so quick that they do miss some of the, the things that are important, like plumbing and
electrical.
Electrical. The main things that I think it's important to get them looked at through a third-party inspector.
Absolutely. And for buyers, too, if you don't want to pay for it outright, you can always add it into closing. I don't know if you know that we offer that.
Yes, I love that. I actually just learned that the other day, and I think it's great because sometimes people don't have the money right away to pay for it, but I'm glad you guys offer for it to pay at closing.
Yeah, if you don't, you don't want to pay for it out of pocket right then and there, or you just don't want to dip into your reserve fund, it's a great way to get all of the bells and whistles.
When people get the inspection, when I go over the buyer console, I tell them, I was like, when you get the inspection, we're looking at big ticket items, big ticket items, because on the inspection report, you get all kinds of things wrong. And, of course, they freak out. They're like, there's so many things, but it's, minor things.
Yeah.
But we're looking at, like you said, foundation, AC, electrical, plumbing. Those are things that can be very expensive to fix.
Absolutely.
So I like to tell people, hey, don't freak out because it's going to be a long report.
Yeah. And ours are color coded now too. I don't know if you have seen any of our reports.
I haven't seen any lately. But
yeah, they're color coded, so they break it up for them. So your blue is more of your maintenance items, things that you can fix at Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that. Orange is more of your recommendations. There's a deficiency there, and then the red for the safety hazards or things that might be coded.
Okay.
So it breaks it down so that they don't think every single deficiency is a blaring red flag that they have to get done.
Oh yeah, I always tell people that look for that stuff. Foundation's a big issue but every home is going to have, I feel like nowadays every home, because we do live in Texas and it gets hot, every home won't have perfect foundation.
Absolutely.
And I was like, sometimes it's some of it's okay.
It is.
Or, it's normal.
Yeah, there is a normal range of movement, and that's what we refer to as settlement. And a lot of people will freak out if they just see a tiny crack come out and then automatically think that they have to have someone go up under their foundation and fix all of it. And that is not the case at all. Water your home.
Yeah, well, as soon as we get to a house, people see the driveway, they're like, oh, this home has foundation issues because there's a crack in the driveway.
Oh.
I'm like, that's not always.
Yeah.
And, it's not always right. Yes, maybe, a little bit, but it's not this house.
Yeah, it doesn't automatically mean, unless there's other things that go along with it. If you have the cracks that are stair-stepped or really wide or are making the wall displaced in addition to having sticky doors and your windows won't open, then yeah, probably call a foundation specialist. But if you just have, you know, 1 or 2, even 3 little cracks in the wall next to the door or window, that doesn't always mean that the foundation is completely messed up and you have to get it fixed right then and there.
People get scared. They're like, oh, foundation, and they just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to look at, I'm not interested in this home anymore. But,
That's where we come in and educate them.
Yes. And it's very important that you get educated and not just turn down a home because it's got a crack in the driveway or
Yeah, absolutely.
on the side of the house or whatnot.
That is very true. And we'll do digital foundation measurements on it too.
Okay.
So they'll look to see if there's any kind of movement. And of course, that information is best when you have prior information to compare it to. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, these were last year's numbers. Like current homeowners will get their foundation looked at like every year, every couple years. And then we can use the prior data to compare to see how much it's moving or how much it's shifting. But that can kind of give them a little bit of a peace of mind. But it also takes 3 months to see any kind of effects from the weather. Trim the big trees that you have around your house. Those are sucking up a lot of the moisture that's going to go into the soil underneath. And water your house. I always thought that was crazy. When I moved here, I saw people watering their house, and I was like, there's some interesting
water your
people.
House?
Yeah, but people do, like, I have agents that have a whole sprinkler system or those hoses with the little holes in it that will go through because it just keeps all of the moisture content even, so nothing is shifting and moving. But it's not like, you'll water your house and then you instantly see that those cracks are going away or that everything's level. It'll take 3 months to see that it's all, like, leveling out. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so last year, because of the drought, we extended our driveway, and there was cracks on the extended driveway, and my husband's like, make sure you don't park and hit it. It's like, it's been so dry that's what's messing it up. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's not. But yeah, it's not. And like this year, we haven't had any more cracks because we've had, better weather.
Yeah.
Like more rain at least.
Yeah, and that helps a lot. But I mean, also with too much rain. So, like, the wet soil will expand and the dry soil will contract. So if you have that constantly on and off, I mean, it's gonna do something. But it doesn't always mean that it's detrimental to the home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you so much
for
thanks. Educating us.